Welcome to another episode of Bargain Saturdays. And this week I also decided to take a look at Tommy and the Cool Mule, which I got in this 3-pack and quite a few other packs of animal movies. This one seems to be rather cheap to license, I guess, to get a reprint, to make it part of a pack to try and get people to buy it, as if it's a bargain deal. Yet you get a bunch of bad movies on the cheap. Admittedly, that lures in people like me, but I can't imagine everyone, is interested in picking up stuff like this for $1 or get like a 12-pack for $4. Because let's face it, who wants to sit through a bunch of bad movies usually? I mean, unless it's something stupidly awesome like Sharknado, it's usually not worth it. And this 2009 film definitely seems to have become rather obscure anyway, because there's only one review for it on YouTube. One, by Good Morning Bad Movie, a channel with 10 subscribers, and hasn't made a video in over 3 years. Hopefully nothing's happened to him, super bad, that caused him to stop. I'm just, hopefully it's, he gave up because he just wasn't getting anywhere. Admittedly, his style of doing reviews was even lazier than mine. I sit in front of a webcam wearing a shirt, and pants and stuff, and he would just lay in his bed, because it's part of his bit, it's good morning. I just got up. I'm going to tell you about the bad movie I watched last night. Well, laying in my bed, basically having the camera focused on my face, and showing, my bare naked shoulder, making you have to wonder, am I completely naked underneath my blanket? I don't know why he thought that was a good idea, but yeah, that was his style, and it didn't work very well. Admittedly, this doesn't work very well for me either, because you're like, this is just too lazy for, modern day YouTube. You need to put in more effort. But I'm more interested, in my video count than, my active subscriber base count. Because I'm like, if anyone else gets, enjoyment out of this stuff, I achieved some success. And if nothing else, I'll be happy because I have another video, on that on the counter, That's good enough for me. Some might argue that's really weird, but I do this stuff as more of a hobby, not as a way to make money. But let's get back to, I suppose, talking about Tommy and the Cool Mule instead of talking about, my motivations and old dead YouTube channels. As far as the film itself goes, think stuff like Stone Fox. This is a coming-of-age story about a young boy that has to, save the family farm, or in this case, the family ranch, because his mom's having, financial issues. Pretty much ever since his dad died, years ago in a war. And now, he has to man up and save the house. And how's he going to do that? Well, by competing in a rodeo event while riding a mule he got from the villain.
Well, I'm going to give that flea bag to the Braxton kid as a gift.
Good riddance. But why?
His mother had to sell all their livestock, and maybe giving the kid the mule will make her see me in a different light.
Yes, the villain actually supplies Tommy with an animal to ride on as a attempt to, sweeten, become a bit nicer in the eyes of his mom to see if she'll sell the property. It's like, see, I'm not a bad guy. I gave your son my old mule that doesn't do any work and is a pain in my butt. I don't know why he thought that was so appealing, but apparently he thought it might work. It did not. Of course, to try and prevent Tommy from using the mule in the rodeo event to win the money they need, he's like, tells his son and his friends to go steal it back.
Well, if the mule and the boy are causing you problems, we need to separate the mule and the boy.
But one of his the bullies decides, you know what? I can't live with myself if I steal this mule from him, because I have the hots for his sister. So he helps get the mule back, so Tommy can compete in the rodeo event and win that money. Because of course he's gonna win that money. It's just the typical part of his coming of age story, right? Only without the sad ending of the dog dying. Because it's not like the mule dies at the end of the movie. Well, you can't have, a character voiced by Ice-T just drop over dead, for no apparent reason, right?
Hey, somebody done shot the wrong mule in the booty. I'll mule kick you in the next week.
Who said that?
I said it, Pinhead. Who else just got shot in the butt?
I mean, it's not like the event they compete in is hard work or anything. It's basically a riding event where everyone sits, the audience sits in like a barn, and then you leave the barn and go on a track. and then come back and are given points based on time and technique by the people that watch you, which is basically just, a handful of observers. So yeah, most of the event that this rodeo event you can't see. I don't know why it would appeal to anybody. Like, you could just sit in a barn, see someone take off, and then come back in. You don't get to watch anything else. I mean, they could at least cut away and show, maybe a TV screen or something in there to show that people can actually watch you riding on the trail, so they can tell if you're doing really good or really bad or something, because otherwise, how is anyone supposed to know who's winning or losing this event outside of, getting the points announcements after each run?
Here comes the favorite of this year's competition, a two-time champion in ranch class and barrel racing, Nathan Davis. He's going to be riding Kona Coats. He's certainly going to be tough to beat, Tyler. Are you ready, Nathan? 3, 2, 1, go! And a fantastic ride by Nathan Davis. Trail score 48, time score 48, total score 96. And that moves Nathan Davis to first place with one rider to go.
And that sounds like a horrible thing to watch, right? You get to sit in a barn, staring at basically at dirt, for minutes at a time, waiting for someone to come back in. Just sounds like a horrible event. And we also have some weird plot holes in this movie. We have Tommy getting the ability to talk to Jackie A, voiced by Ice-T, after he gets hit in the head during a paintball game. And then, we have another scene later on where Kevin Sorbo's kid, the bully, leader of the bullies, can hear Jackie A talking, without getting hit on the head. Yet, we also have Tommy lose the ability to talk to Jackie A after he gets hit on the head again. Like, do you have to be hit on the head in a certain way or not to talk to this mule? It's just like there's like a horse trailer you could drive through that plot hole. I mean, I guess Jackie is like, well, I can always talk. I just normally choose not to talk to people. But that just seems like a weird excuse because they act like the hit on the head, actually means something. Like, either it does or doesn't. And if it doesn't, don't include it. It just makes things more complicated. It makes me question, how certain plot elements work. But yeah, this is a rather boring and meandering film. It does that whole coming of age story. You gotta save the family farm, or in this case, like I said, ranch, with a teenager at the helm. And of course, he gets the girl at the end of the movie too, and the bullies, stop being his bullies because they're like, oh, now he's cool because he won the rodeo event, So yeah, a happy classical ending, I suppose, but not a particularly good film. There's bad dialogue and rather poor execution. So I don't know why anyone would really want to watch this one, or even subject their kids to it, because I imagine only really little kids might get any real enjoyment out of it, because you got a talking mule named Jackie A, and that's about all I can see them being interested in, because everything else is just so boring.
I'm not supposed to show fear, so how am I doing there, little puppy? Why don't you stay right there? I hate big dogs!
You guys just don't understand. This kid's doing something evil here, all right? Listen, the mule talks!